Oh, I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about right now. Welcome back, everybody. Missed you so much. I'm Staff Sergeant Raymond Hoy, and this is your Academy Insider. Now, I hope you all enjoyed your holiday break, and I use the term break loosely, as I'm sure many of you didn't really get any time off, unlike our fine cadets. These guys got some well-deserved time off to go home and spend some time with mom and dad, and beat up on little brother and sister, and play fetch with the dog and such. Now, not much happened around here. I brushed up on my go fish skills and caught up on some email, but other than that, not much. Well, that's not entirely true. There were a few things that happened, and by golly, I'm gonna share them with you. Of course, the big thing that happened was our winning the Independence Bowl December 27th. Our boys in blue broke out the Thunderbird uniforms again and headed down to Shreveport, Louisiana to take on the Yellow Jackets of Georgia Tech. Now, I wasn't able to go. I just got back from a remote tour and I decided I would spend Christmas home with the family. My wife decided I was gonna stay home with the family, but I just nodded my head and blindly agreed. These are the #1 and #2 rushing teams in the country. Rushing? Did I not say rushing?
You're saying Russian.
Russian. And wouldn't you know it, both teams run the triple option.
Just like the Navy game earlier this year, it was two very similar teams with two similar attacks going at it. And when you have two similar styles, each team is going to know what the other team is going to do.
But it wasn't really the rushing that won the game for the Falcons. Special teams showed up big time and forced a couple of turnovers.
Our special teams was huge for us today, and three phases of the game: offense, defense, and special teams. You got to be equally great in all of them, and it showed today.
Now, despite all of the great things they did, it was still a nail biter that went right down to the end. I was getting pretty worried there for a minute, but then John Davis intercepted the ball and stuff, which I totally knew was going to happen. Another cool part of the game was that senior fullback Jared too was able to make it back on the field after breaking his leg during the San Diego State game.
I'm very grateful I got the chance to come back out here one last time and be able to get out there on the field with my teammates and just be able to play.
Oh, and this also happened. Man, that had to be cold. You know, I could have had a huge career in coaching football, but that right there was what kept me away from it. Luckily for me, the fallback job panned out. Now, I was running the Facebook page for the Academy, doing my part. And for those of you who followed it during the game, we had a lot of fun. We had over 400 comments and about 1,200 likes during the game. For those of you who haven't done that with us, I suggest you try it next year.
This year?
This coming. And of course, the big news during the game was that Ace, our live mascot, flew away during the demonstration before the game. Man, that got all kinds of attention. We ran it on Facebook and tweeted about it, and that thing was retweeted by everyone from CBS Sports to ESPN. We even had a New York Times call to ask us about it, which was pretty crazy. Of course, Ace was fine and made it back before the end of the game. The simple fact, though, is that when you're dealing with live animals, these things can happen. It happens. There's not much you can do about it. They actually do a lot of preparing in advance and put trackers on the birds for just this sort of thing. My favorite part, though, was when they showed my buddy, Cadet, First Class Jeremiah Baxter on the field, and he's sitting there looking off in the distance, spinning his little lure, looking like somebody just stole his puppy. This is the Air Force, and everybody knows we fly planes. But here at the Academy, well, we've gotten pretty good at jumping out of them. As proven by our Wings of Blue team pretty much kicking butt and taking names during the National Collegiate Parachuting Championships, December 30th and 31st. The team took 47 medals. Yeah, 47. We only brought 20 people, so you do the math. We actually took gold in every category except one, and that was only on a technicality. See, I guess they were in a formation and they're holding hands like such as they're falling. And they're supposed to stay together for 5 seconds, and they only stayed together for 4.7. Oh no, somebody call the nitpicker police. We shorted them 0.3 seconds. The main competitors in the competition? Of course, the main players in the competition are typically the military academies. However, we only brought 20 competitors and West Point brought 30. Guess that means that they didn't do as well. Meanwhile, back at the Academy, Cadet First Class Joshua Larson took command from Cadet First Class Mark Shaw.
Mike.
His name is Mike. Cadet First Class Joshua Larson took command from Cadet First Class Mike Shaw, not Mark, in a ceremony inside Mitchell Hall during lunch today, which of course doesn't make any sense to you guys because you don't know what day it is. So stupid. Okay, so it was January 4th. Anyway, it's a pretty big deal and a big undertaking for a cadet.
Mike Shaw and his staff officially passed over the gold saber to myself and my staff, and so we've now assumed command of the cadet wing. The wing commander is the highest ranking cadet at the academy. He oversees all of the cadet-run activities and programs, and then liaisons with the permanent party to help us make this place as awesome as we can. I got a great team to help me out, and so plugging into those guys and saying, hey, I really need help with this, can you help me out?
And of course, the Academy does a lot to push these guys and get them ready for a position like this.
Time management becomes more and more important as you assume more duties, and so the Academy does a very good job of gradually getting you to the place where, today I'm ready for this. And I've gotten the opportunity to have some really neat leadership positions. I've really enjoyed it, and I enjoy helping people out and making a positive difference, and this is a cool way to do that.
Congratulations to Cadet Larson. I'm sure he's going to do a great job. Next up, we have a news segment for the show. It's called On Being. Not on bean like a bean, but on being like an alien being. This is a personality piece where we take the opportunity to highlight individuals in a specific area of the Air Force or the military in general. This will be a regular feature on the show and will be posted by itself in other locations on the web like YouTube or our .mil website, something like that. Now up first we have Second Lieutenant Meredith Kirchhoff with On Being a Second Lieutenant.
I'm a public affairs officer. I would say it probably took at least 4, 5, 6 months before I was like, wow, I'm actually an officer. This is for real. This isn't a joke or anything. I think that a lot of people going into the job feel like they have to know everything when they start. Well, the bottom line is you're not really going to know anything. I walked into my office on the first day and I was scared out of my mind because I thought, I need to know what this job is. I need to know how to do it. I need to know how to lead people. I need to know everything. It's just a big learning process. So yeah, it's fun. I remember last year when I was working on graduation here at the Academy, I was so stressed out and I had so many things on my plate and I didn't have enough time to get it done. But I thought to myself, I was like, you know what? This is what I did for 4 years. I know exactly how to do this. And so even though I didn't realize it at the time, the Academy was totally preparing me to be an officer. I go into the office and I have a cubicle, so that's exciting. And I check emails and get stuff done for my boss because I'm a deputy, so that's pretty fun. But we work a lot of different stuff. It's so varied. Some days I'm like looking at newspaper articles and editing them. Other days I'll go out and actually cover a story. Some days I'm just setting stuff up, helping put together a prep package for, one of the people on base doing an interview with a media outlet. Normally you're going to be the lowest ranking person in the room, obviously. So when you go in there and you have to give advice to somebody who's higher ranking than you, oftentimes a lot higher ranking than you, just be confident but also be honest. Don't go in there acting like you know everything. Give your opinion and give that advice and then let them kind of, respond back to that, and then you guys can have more of a conversation than going in and acting like you know everything and you're going to tell them what to do. Even though you are rocking the butter bars, it works. At the Academy, we did get good training on this, and then you also can seek out advice from other people in your office, other people who are supervisors, other people who are enlisted who might be in the same position as the person you're supervising. Let them know that you're inexperienced at this, that this might be your first time supervising, and that helps if you just kind of are open about it and don't go in acting like you know what to tell them to do. If they've been in the Air Force for 15 years, obviously they probably know a little bit more than you do about your job and their job and everybody else's job. Yeah, the latch onto a senior NCO is great advice, but everybody hears it for like years and years and years, and then you're a lieutenant and you're like, oh my gosh, where's my senior NCO? Just go out there and try stuff. You might look stupid and you might mess up, or you will mess up. Just go out there and try it, and don't worry about, looking like you don't know what you're doing, because you don't know what you're doing.
Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, she's actually my supervisor. Hey, you've got to go for the low-hanging fruit when you start something new around here. Look for more pieces next week. We've got stuff coming up like on being a falconer and on being a cheerleader and on being a dually, all kinds of stuff. I hope you enjoy it. All right, now we have another new regular segment, the Academy Vault. Now, some of you in Facebook land have seen this stuff on there, and we've been highlighting some of the stuff in our historical collection. Now Paul's going to show us some cool items he has in his collection.
Let's start off with probably the smallest thing, this little ring right here. This is General Harmon's West Point class ring from the class of 1915. It was known as the class the stars fell on. It included folks like Eisenhower and Bradley and Marshall and General Harmon, the Academy's first superintendent.
Hey, I think I've heard of some of those guys. They were like kind of a big deal, right? Generals and such.
Folks have probably keyed in on the sword and pistol here. These are souvenirs that General Arnold was given following the close of World War II. This is a Nazi dress dagger. You can plainly see the eagle and swastika on it.
Right.
This would have been carried by an officer. This is an antique pistol with a kind of an interesting feature. It has a spring-loaded bayonet.
Oh, because that's real useful. Such an idiot. I don't know what.
This would have been useful. You had one shot, of course. You know,
Yeah.
if you missed the guy, you could always stick him. But we don't really know where
he didn't
this.
have a weapon himself, right?
Yeah, this is true. This is
Hopefully.
true. We don't know exactly where it was made, but it was probably something that was acquired, we'll use that term, by GIs and given to General Arnold as a souvenir of the victory in Germany.
Now let's be clear on something here before we go any further. There are items in here that are a mystery, if you will.
Oh, absolutely, and we'll be featuring those on the Facebook page and
Okay.
let people guess on that.
That's right. We will continue to highlight this stuff on Facebook, and of course we will show you a new piece every week. I suggest you check out our Facebook currently, right now, and check out the Charles Lindbergh helmet on there. Okay, now we have everybody's favorite, besides my personal favorite, sound off. This week we asked people to sound off with their New Year's resolutions.
Oh my God.
Apparently he didn't really think this out.
I'm working a lot with the chaplains and with the Earth-Centered Circle up just west of the chapel, and I would like to get that dedicated.
Go for it. Go for whatever you want to go for, and that's what you want to do.
Take better care of myself, eat better, exercise more.
Man, I'm so there. I'm out of shape right now like you wouldn't even believe. The holidays were not kind.
I'm going to run 2 marathons this year.
Yeah, okay. I may need to get in better shape, but that's just nonsense. 2 marathons? Come on.
Not to burn the kitchen down like I did at Christmas.
Yeah, that's always a good idea. All right, guys, that's all we have for this week, and I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to let us know what you think. I definitely want to see your comments down below, because you all know you're so kind to us all the time with your comments. Till next week, I'm Staff Sergeant Hoy.
Yeah, don't hit yourself.
Yeah, don't hit myself.
Yeah, don't hit yourself.
And I approve this message. All right, I'm working it!
That's part of it.
Just take your time. Yeah.